Hello, everybody. I'm Ed Robinson, and welcome to another exciting edition of Striving for It All. This is the program that gets you caught up on anything and everything happening around the WNBA. Coming up on this edition of the program, more playoff berths are clinched. Plus, we have your current league leaders in standings, so stay tuned, sit back, and relax, and enjoy the program. As always, I would like to start off with talking about my top three storylines. I want to start off talking about the red-hot Indiana Fever. Since the Olympic break, the Fever have been on a roll. They're currently on a 4-game winning streak as this show is currently airing. Throughout the month of August, they only lost 1 game. And so far, in the month of September, they have looked awesome. Yeah, there's Caitlin Clark. She's been phenomenal. But Kelsey Mitchell, we talk about MVP candidates with Asia Wilson, Nafisa Collier, but we need to add Kelsey Mitchell to the MVP race as well. I mean, Kelsey was solid during the first half of the year, but since the Olympic break, she has just been on a tear. I mean, Kelsey, in the game against the Seattle Storm on August the 18th, she led the team with 27 points. In the game against Atlanta on August the 26th, she had 29 points. In the game against the Connecticut Sun on August the 28th, she had 23 points. And in the recent game on September the 1st against the Dallas Wings, she had 36 points. Kelsey has just been a walking bucket, and there's been rumors going around that she may be leaving Indiana at the end of the year. I don't know if that's true or not, but I certainly hope that Kelsey will stay in Indiana a little bit longer. I mean, the chemistry, it has gotten better game by game with her and Caitlin Clark. And, I mean, the Fever have been hot, not just with Caitlin Clark, but Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey's just been phenomenal. Also, too, Aaliyah Boston has gotten it done in the rebounds and the assist department. Melissa Smith has played well as of recent as well. How about Lexi Hall? Lexi, don't sleep on Lexi. We know about her three-point shooting, but she's an underrated defender, and her defense has been really good as of late. And also with the additions of Timmy Fagbinley coming back from injury, and don't sleep on Damiris Dantas. Damiris has been an X factor. Damiris and Timmy have been X factors for the Indiana Fever. So the Fever have been red hot since the Olympic break, and I don't see them really slowing down anytime soon. I mean, they've Christy Sides finally starting to get it together, you know, game by game, slowly but surely. I know the jury's still out on her, but for the moment, the Fever are riding a high right now. They're currently on a 4-game winning streak as this show is airing. And certainly the Fever have been not only the talk of the WNBA, but they've been the talk of women's basketball as of recent. My next storyline is going to be the ChicagoSky. So we go from the red-hot Indiana Fever to the ice-cold ChicagoSky. Their struggles continue. They have been on a downward spiral since coming back from the Olympic break. They're currently, as this show is airing, they're currently on a 6-game losing streak. They've only won 1 game since coming back from the Olympic break. Angel Reese continuing to break records, setting numbers, breaking records in terms of getting double-doubles and rebounds. But they're not winning. Camila Cardoso still trying to find her way in the offense. However, she did have a great game on September the 1st against the Minnesota Lynx with scoring 22 points. I think one of the worst things that happened to Chicago during this year clearly was with Marina Mabrey. Marina wanted out, didn't like the situation going on with Angel in the team, and there's a lot of things wrong with the Sky right now. And I know Angel Reese, again, breaking records, but the team is not winning. You know, she still has not really developed a shot. She's getting rebounds, unfortunately, off of her own missed shots. There's just a lot of things that are just wrong with the Sky right now. Camilla has got to get more involved in the offense, and it's not going to get any easier for them because the next slate of games are going to be crucial for the Sky. They're at Las Vegas. Then they've got Los Angeles. They've got Dallas. They've got Washington, Minnesota, Phoenix, Atlanta, and they end the year at Connecticut. So it's going to be a pretty tough stretch going forward. And if the Sky don't make the playoffs this year, man, there's going to be a lot of questions in the Windy City, particularly with the future of head coach Teresa Weatherspoon. And for my last storyline, are playoff berths. So we've had more teams clinch playoff berths this week. The Las Vegas Aces and now the Seattle Storm. So the Aces, for the moment, currently sit in fourth place in the WNBA standings. Seattle is currently in fifth place. So Becky Hammon and her crew, the defending champions, they're starting to put things together just at the right time. And kudos to Asia Wilson, who currently, in my opinion, is still the leading MVP candidate. She's still been playing at such a high level. And the Seattle Storm, Jewel Lloyd doing what Jewel Lloyd does best. Skylar Diggins-Smith has been playing on a high level as of late. How about Nneka Ogwumike having an impressive comeback season? And I'll say this. I'll say Noelle Quinn, a candidate for the head coach of the year honors, certainly somebody that's really, I mean, what a difference a year makes for the Storm. Last year, they were at the bottom of the standings in the league, and they were trying to adjust to Sue Bird not being with the team anymore, but with the additions of Skylar Diggins-Smith, Nneka Ogwumike, of course, the tried and true veteran of Jewel Lloyd, and then when you have the defense like Ezi Magbagor, I honestly feel that Noelle Quinn should definitely get a strong consideration for Coach of the Year honors. I've been saying that really since the beginning of the year, but the Seattle Storm, congratulations to them, and congratulations to the Las Vegas Aces on clinching playoff berths. All right, now it's time to give you a recap of the week that was in the W. So let's start off with action from Friday, August the 30th. We had the Minnesota Lynx take on the Dallas Wings. Dallas would beat Minnesota 94-76. We had the New York Liberty take on the Seattle Storm. New York would win 98-85. The Las Vegas Aces took on the Atlanta Dream. Las Vegas would go on to win 83-72. And we had the final meeting of the regular season between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky. Angel Reese and company going up against Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston and company, the Indiana Fever. It was all Indiana. The Fever took control of this game, and they never looked back. Indiana would win. Final score would be 100-81. And Caitlin, she put on a masterclass. She scored a career high of 31 points. Here's Caitlin in action.
Clark for three, rattles it around. Ekemle working it around here for the Fever. Good ball movement on this possession. Logo shot. Logo makes for Clark. Clark again. Heating up. One way. Count the pocket. Caitlin Clark has an and one. Reese is on the left of Bantam. Shovel pass to Allen, who looks for Reese again, but Wheeler's in the way, and the Fever leak out. Caitlin Clark, a layup drill for her. Caitlin Clark running things. Looking to add to her talent. Caitlin Clark, another three-pointer.
All right, that audio courtesy of the WNBA and League Pass and Ion. And while Caitlin was doing her thing, Kelsey Mitchell and Alyssa Smith, they did their thing as well in the game as the Fever would beat the Sky. Here's Kelsey and Alyssa in action.
Boston trying to look for it. Kelsey Mitchell, catch, shoots, fires. She hit. Who whips it into the corner. Wheeler not there, but chases her own miss. Beats everyone to it. Kelsey Mitchell pays it off. Kelsey Mitchell. Backdoor cut. Boston looking for Hull. Here's Smith going up against Reeves. Draws the contact. Hits an and one. Looking inside Cardoso, but gets All kinds of red jerseys surrounding her. Allen's got to pull it. Fires and hits from deep. Dantes setting the screen for Clark. Feeds the post here to Smith, and another and one. Smith, 1-foot runner.
All right, so that audio was courtesy of the WNBA, Ion, and League Pass. So the final score, once again, was Indiana 100, Chicago 81. Caitlin Clark had a double-double with 31 points and 12 assists. Kelsey Mitchell finished with 23 points. Melissa Smith finished with 14 points. And Lexi Hall finished with 11 points. On the losing end for the Sky, Angel Reese had a double-double with 10 points and 11 rebounds. Michaela Onyanwere finished with 20 points. Camila Cardoso had 10 rebounds. Lindsay Allen finished with 19 points. And Rachel Banham finished with 14 points. Again, the final score, Indiana 100, Chicago 81. We move ahead to action now from Saturday, August the 31st. And it was the Connecticut Sun taking on the Washington Mystics. The Sun would win 96-85. And then we move along now to action from Sunday, September the 1st, where we had the Connecticut Sun take on the Seattle Storm. Connecticut would win 93-86. The Minnesota Lynx would beat the ChicagoSky 79-74. The Las Vegas Aces would beat the Phoenix Mercury 97-79. The Atlanta Dream would beat the Los Angeles Sparks 80-62. And we had an intriguing game between the IndianaFever and the Dallas Wings. Indiana would win 100-93. This was the game where Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark, they were in their bag in this one. I mean, they just could not be touched. I mean, from start to finish, they were outstanding. Here's Kelsey and Caitlin in action.
Mitchell only 13 points in the loss. Now she goes in the paint, rolls it over the front of the rim. Clark comes down. There's one of those long passes. Oh, little French pastry from Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell looks to push. Leads Indiana in scoring 18-5, and she's got ready. Mitchell buries the three. That was pretty. The three in Clark. How about coming off a career-high 3 assists, Kalani versus Minnesota, but then Mitchell answers again. Satu had it. Hull comes back with it. Mitchell plants, fires, buries the three. Mitchell looked like a double dribble, but Mitchell with the left hand. Mitchell, Satu, tough cover for her. Mitchell, no. Hull the rebound. Saw the C's part and takes advantage of it. Clark knocks down 3. Howard had it poked away. Nice D by Smith. Caitlin on one side. She wants it. She got it. She lays it. Mitchell outside, and she's got another 3. Clark comes back and answers. Up ahead, Clark. Beautiful pass to Mitchell. Clark from way downtown carries it. Side says Clark gives us energy. Keeps it alive. Knows when to turn it on. And then in the paint again.
Really get involved more in the offensive end.
3 players in double figures. Clark again with another 3.
All right, that audio was courtesy of the WNBA, NBA TV, and League Pass. So again, the final score was the IndianaFever 100, Dallas 93. Again, Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark, they did their thing. Kelsey finished with 36 points. Caitlin finished with a double-double with 28 points and 12 assists. And Alyssa Smith finished with 14 points. On the losing effort for Dallas, Arike Ogunbowale finished with 34 points. Satu Sabali finished with 25 points. And Natasha Howard finished with 18 points. Once again, the final score, Indiana 100, Dallas 93. And that takes care of the week that was in the W. All right, now it's time for the current league leaders in the WNBA. The leading scorer in the W is Asia Wilson. She's number 1, representing the Las Vegas Aces. She's averaging 27.5 points per game. Coming in at number 2, Arike Ogunbowale from the Dallas Wings. At number 3, Kalia Copper from the Phoenix Mercury. Coming in at number 4, Jewel Lloyd from the Seattle Storm. And in 5th, Brianna Stewart from the New York Liberty. The next category is going to be rebounds per game. At number 1, Angel Reese from the ChicagoSky. She's averaging 13 rebounds per game. At number 2, Asia Wilson, Nafisa Collier from the Minnesota Lynx. And right behind her is De'Erica Hamby from the Los Angeles Sparks. And in 5th, Jonquel Jones from the New York Liberty. Next category is going to be assists per game. Coming in at number 1, Caitlin Clark from the Indiana Fever. She's averaging 8 assists per game. Coming in at number 2, Alyssa Thomas from the Connecticut Sun. Coming in 3rd, Natasha Cloud from the Phoenix Mercury. In 4th, Skylar Diggins-Smith from the Seattle Storm. And in 5th, Sabrina Ionescu from the New York Liberty. Next category is going to be steals per game. Coming in at number 1, Arike Ogunbowale. At number 2, Nneka Ogwumike from the Seattle Storm. In 3rd, Nafisa Collier. In 4th, Asia Wilson. And in 5th, Brianna Stewart. Next category is going to be blocks per game. At number 1, Asia Wilson. At number 2, Cameron Brink from the Los Angeles Sparks. In 3rd, Ezzie Magbagor from the Seattle Storm. In 4th, Elena Smith from the Minnesota Lynx. And in 5th, Brittany Griner from the Phoenix Mercury. Next category is going to be field goal percentage. At number 1, from the Phoenix Mercury, Brittany Griner. She's shooting 57% from the field. At number 2, Tiara McCowan from the Dallas Wings. At number 3, Jonquel Jones. At number 4, Asia Wilson. And in 5th, Tiffany Hayes from the Las Vegas Aces. Next category is going to be free throw percentage. Coming in at number 1, Dana Evans from the ChicagoSky. She's shooting 95% from the free throw line. Coming in at number 2, Arike Ogunbowale from the Dallas Wings. At number 3, Sabrina Ionescu from the New York Liberty. Coming in 4th, Caitlin Clark. And in 5th, Betnijah Laney Hamilton from the New York Liberty. Next category is going to be three-point percentage. At number 1, Stephanie Dolson from the Washington Mystics. She's shooting 49% from three-point range. Coming in at number 2, Satu Sabali from the Dallas Wings. At number 3, Cecilia Zandalicini from the Minnesota Lynx. Coming in at number 4, Lexi Hall from the Indiana Fever. And in 5th, Nneka Ogwumike from the Seattle Storm. And the last category that we have is minutes per game. At number 1, from the Dallas Wings, Arike Ogunbowale. She's averaging almost 39 minutes a game. At number 2, from the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark. At number 3, representing the Las Vegas Aces, Kelsey Plum. At number 4, from the Minnesota Lynx, Nafisa Collier. And in 5th, representing the Las Vegas Aces, Asia Wilson. And that takes care of your current league leaders in the W. Now let's move over now to the current standings. Starting off in first place, the New York Liberty. They have a record of 27-6. Coming in second place are the Connecticut Sun, 24-8. Coming in third are the Minnesota Lynx with a record of 24-9. In fourth place are the Las Vegas Aces with a record of 20-12. And in fifth place are the Seattle Storm with a record of 19-13. So currently, New York, Connecticut, Minnesota, Las Vegas, and Seattle have all clinched playoff berths. Here are the remaining standings. In sixth place is the Indiana Fever. They have a record of 17-16. In seventh place are the Phoenix Mercury with a record of 16-17. In eighth place are the ChicagoSky with a record of 11-21. Followed in ninth place by the Atlanta Dream. In 10th place are the Washington Mystics. In 11th place are the Dallas Wings. And in last place are the Los Angeles Sparks. and that takes care of your current standings in the WNBA. All right, now let's move along now to the games that are going to be coming up this week in the W. Let's start off with action on Tuesday, September the 10th. There's going to be a 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central tip-off between the Seattle Storm and the Connecticut Sun. You can watch that game on League Pass. And then a tip-off at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central between the Washington Mystics and the Dallas Wings. You can also watch that game on League Pass. And then we have a 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific tip-off between the ChicagoSky and the Las Vegas Aces. You can watch that game on NBA TV and League Pass. And also, we have a game on that same time between the Atlanta Dream and the Phoenix Mercury. You can watch that game on League Pass. On Wednesday, September the 4th, tip-off for 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central between the Los Angeles Sparks and the Indiana Fever. You can watch that game on CBS Sports Network and League Pass. And then we have games coming up on Thursday, September the 5th. Tip-off at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central between the Seattle Storm and the New York Liberty. You can watch that game on Amazon Prime Video. And then at 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, we have the Washington Mystics going up against the Phoenix Mercury. You can also watch that game on Amazon Prime Video. On Friday, September the 6th, we have games that are going to be tipping off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central. We have the Dallas Wings going up against the Atlanta Dream, the Las Vegas Aces going up against the Connecticut Sun, and the Minnesota Lynx going up against the Indiana Fever. You can watch those games on Ion and League Pass. And then tip-off at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central Time between the Los Angeles Sparks and the ChicagoSky. You can watch that game on Ion and League Pass. And then games on Saturday, September the 7th, tip-off at 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific Time between the Phoenix Mercury and the Seattle Storm. You can watch that game on NBA TV and League Pass. And then on Sunday, September the 8th, tip-off at 3 p.m. Eastern, p.m. Central Time between the Minnesota Lynx and the Washington Mystics. You can watch that game on ESPN3 and League Pass. And then games that are going to be tipping off at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central Time. We have the Atlanta Dream going up against the Indiana Fever. You can watch those games on ESPN3 and League Pass. And also tipping off at that same time will be the Las Vegas Aces going up against the New York Liberty. You can watch that game on ESPN. Then we have a tip-off at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central Time between the Dallas Wings and the ChicagoSky. You can watch that game on League Pass. And then we have a tip-off at 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific Time between the Connecticut Sun and the Los Angeles Sparks. You can watch that game on League Pass. So those are your upcoming games for the week in the W, and we're winding down. We are winding down towards the end of the regular season. Still a lot of playoff spots at stake, but time is slowly running out because, again, the last day of the regular season is September the 19th, so a lot of teams are continue to jockey for position. There's some teams that have clinched their playoff berths, while there's some other teams that are still trying to get there. It looks like Indiana's going to be in the mix. Will Chicago fall out of the mix, or will they stay in the picture? It's going to be very tough, but only time will tell. And that's going to do it for this edition of the program. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time, everybody, I'm Ed Robinson saying so long, and you take care. Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Remember to click like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.